Hi there. Do you desire to have money all the time? If that's so, this video is for you. By the way, there is a very huge misconception out there whereby people think people out there make money. The reality is that people out there take money and hold money. It is only the government that actually makes money by printing money. You and I take money or hold money. That's why in this video, I'm going to discuss with you 7 tips which you could possibly use to ensure you take money and also hold money. You are all much welcomed to the Money Daily YouTube channel. My name is Afagza Sifuna. By the way, if it is your first time here, kindly consider subscribing. Subscribe for you to be getting such awesome videos regularly with regards to how to take money, how to hold money, and how to multiply money. Having said that, the very first and basic thing you need to do to ensure you have your money in check is you budgeting. What do I mean? A budget is a simple financial tool which assists people out there to have a clear picture with regards to what their cash inflows are and also what their cash outflows are. In essence, how much money you're making and also how much money you're spending. And beyond that, how much money you're even planning to do other things with. Think about investing and so forth. By the way, a budget is a very simple tool to make. And in making a budget, we don't really have a formula. There isn't anything like a best budget formula to make or something like that. You make a budget based on what you know is good for you and also what you know is your end goal. So if you don't have a budget, think about how you could possibly start making a budget today. Because by you not having a budget, you're setting yourself up for failure. And then the second tip, which you could look to exploit to ensure you take money and also hold money, is you cutting off impromptu purchases. What do I mean? Impromptu purchases is where you go out there and purchase something which you haven't planned to purchase. Look here, it may be something awesome and fun to do, but the reality is that when you talk about money, it is a zero-sum game. You know, you using a given set of money to purchase something is actually taking off a given thing which maybe you had planned to do. It is as simple as that. And to ensure you hold money or to ensure you have money, you need to cut off on impromptu purchases. And I'm saying so because if you don't, you might just end up using money you should set aside to do other important things on impromptu purchases, which, by the way, you don't need. You only want them, but the reality is you don't need them. And if you do that, you might end up selling what you need for you to sustain what you want, which, by the way, might be a very unfortunate situation, but it happens out there a lot. So ensure you cut off impromptu purchases for you to be okay financially, right? And then the third thing which you need to do to ensure you have money is understanding the flow of money. What do I mean? The flow of money has 4 things under it. Talk about incomes, talk about liabilities, talk about expenses, talk about assets. It's quite unfortunate that out there, most people don't understand the flow of money, which, by the way, is usually contributing towards them living that cycle of paycheck to paycheck, towards them not having money, simply because they don't understand the flow of money. And by the way, it's more dire because you could find, for example, even out there someone even earning upwards of, for example, 200,000 per month, but they don't have money just a week after earning this money. That's all because they don't understand the flow of money. They don't know what they're supposed to do for them to be able to hold money and, in fact, grow their money, which, by the way, is quite unfortunate, but it is what it is. The first thing you need to do is actually to understand the flow of money. If you grasp this, it's going to be able to solve your entire financial problems, or even maybe 80% of them, because you're going to know the priority that you need to focus on for you to be able to become rich or even to hold money for long and even grow the money is you focusing on assets so that they are able to increase your incomes. Unfortunately, out here, most people focus on, or even they find themselves in the trap of living, catering for expenses, and even getting trapped in liabilities. If you can lock off expenses and liabilities, you'll just be able to get into assets, which in aggregate are going to be able to assist you get more and more income. It is as simple as that, but I'm going to make another video on the flow of money so that you get a bigger picture, which most of the times a lot of people out there don't understand. And then the fourth thing which you need to do to ensure you have money is you investing. Guys, this is where the magic happens. Investing. In other words, jumping in assets. Think about it. Assets like, for example, having a business. For example, jumping in the stock market, forex, and so forth. Think about assets like, for example, you jumping in the rental space. You, in essence, owning real estate. These are the kind of assets we're talking about. You putting your money in value holding assets. And if you're able to do that, and also you have know-how on how to ensure these assets are able to generate income, you're going to be on the road to building wealth in a way that has never been seen before. You need to understand that for you to be able to have money, and even for you to be able to have the luxury of spending money regularly, you need to jump on assets, because it is in assets that someone obtains the true financial freedom. A lot of people out there, for example, are caught in a cycle of debt and also expenses. If you are able to unlock and jump also on assets, you're going to be able to cater for all these without much pressure. What do you think? And then the fifth thing which you need to do to ensure you have money and also you're able to grow your money is you understanding taxation. By the way, it's kind of fascinating, but the rich out there are able to avoid tax in a way that's very legal. And in essence, they're able to have money for them to be able to grow their wealth. And actually, it's kind of fascinating because by them avoiding tax, they're actually able to contribute to the economy in a huge, huge way. By the way, I'm talking about tax avoiding, not tax evasion. Tax evasion is illegal, but tax avoiding is a way whereby you plan your financial affairs. You plan your undertakings in a way that you avoid to pay tax, but also in a way that is very legal. This, I'm also going to make a video for you to understand ways through which you can be able to avoid tax in a way that's very legal. But the rich people out there are able to do this, and it's actually kind of fascinating because in the long run, they're also contributing to the economy by them unlocking money to do other things out there, right? And then the sixth thing which you need to do to ensure you have money all the time is you actually cutting boundaries. What do I mean? A good number of people out there don't have money because of something called over-dependency, which actually in the Western quarters is called black tax, right? To give you an example, you might have family members who are fully depending on you 24/7. Yes, it is good to help, but if you're helping to your own detriment is not good. And I'm saying so because you could find, for example, out there, someone is working very hard. They're getting good pay, but behind the scenes, they're having, for example, 20 plus people depending on them. With such, they're not be able to unlock money, for example, to put in assets. That's all because you're talking about tens of people out there depending on them for expenses, depending on them for liabilities. And with such, they'll not be able to unlock money to put in assets. And by the way, it is only through assets that they're going to be able to become financially independent. I think it's high time for people out there to start thinking about how to cut off some non-mutually beneficial relationships out there for them to be able to cater for their own good. And then the seventh and the last thing I want to talk about is you understanding the power of insurance in the quest to building your wealth. Look here, guys. Emergencies happen a lot out there. And it's quite unfortunate that actually they also impact on people in ways they never thought about before.